A bouquet with fresh flowers for $10. No need to spend a lot at the florist anymore. Start by taking a vase insert where you'll make your arrangement. It already has soaked floral foam inside. Branches from your garden work best for this bouquet. Insert them into the foam, pointing them upwards. Use artificial leaves left over from last season as well. Add fresh flowers like roses. The color and type are entirely up to you. Just remember to insert them into the wet foam. Once the flowers are in place, fill in the bouquet with extra leaves and branches to make it fuller. Branches will add volume, and they're completely free. Keep it minimalist by not overdoing the decorations. Place the completed arrangement in a vase, which can be plastic or built into the gravestone. This is how the finished bouquet looks. A beautiful, easy-to-make tribute for your loved one's grave, and it saves you a good amount of money. Make a bouquet for a grave for $5. You don't have to spend a fortune at the florist. Just buy a floral sponge in a basket. You'll pay about $5 for such a piece. The rest of the items you can find in the forest or your garden. Take a walk and cut a few branches of spruce, rowan, juniper, or other coniferous trees. Also, collect a few pine cones, acorns, or even mushrooms. Take the floral sponge out of the plastic basket and place it in a bowl of water. Let it sit for a few minutes to absorb the water, then put it back into the basket. Cut the branches you gathered into smaller pieces and insert them into the base of the sponge. Place the longest branches at the ends of the basket to create an elongated shape. Once you've placed the branches around the entire bouquet, take a different type of branch and create another layer. This time, arrange them at a slight angle to lift them from the base. I use silver spruce for this. I place the thickest branches on both ends of the sponge. A carefully made base of needles will make the bouquet look like it came from a florist. This is the part where it's worth taking your time. Fill any gaps with small branches. It's important that the sponge or basket isn't visible through the needles. For the next layers, insert branches pointing upward. On top, I add the prettiest branches I found during the walk. The focal point of the bouquet will be the rowan. Its berries have a beautiful red color. Remove the leaves from the branches and tie two of them together to form a small bouquet. Use floral wire to hold them together and stick them into the sponge. Then I take an oak branch. Its leaves have a lovely golden color. These leaves are among the few that don't fall off after drying. Together with the rowan, they create a beautiful autumn composition. I add one more rowan branch and fill the center with green needles. Now prepare the treasures you found in the forest. Pine cones, acorns, and even mushrooms will beautifully decorate the arrangement. Use hot glue to attach them to the bouquet. Long pine cones will fill the empty spaces nicely. You can create beautiful compositions with mushrooms and acorns. Finally, make a bow from ribbon. I used a ribbon from an old bouquet. I always save such things and reuse them. I leave long ends and curl them into spirals. Stick the bow onto a thick layer of glue, and you're done. This bouquet is eco-friendly. Most of the materials used are biodegradable. The plants in it stay fresh for a long time, so the bouquet will look beautiful for weeks. Don't spend a fortune on plastic bouquets from the florist. Take care of the environment and make one yourself. The only cost is the sponge for a few dollars, and the effect will be just as good. Make a bouquet for $15. You don't need to spend a fortune at the florist. Just buy floral foam in a basket and a candle. During fall garden cleanups, I collected some branches. I trimmed my spruce. You can also use branches of thuja, which are popular in gardens, for such a bouquet. I also gathered a few pine cones during a walk. I take the floral foam out of the plastic basket. I put it in a bowl of water and leave it for a few minutes to soak well. Then I place it back in the basket. Using hot glue, I attach the candle, making sure it's right in the center of the foam. I don't skimp on the glue to ensure it's firmly attached. I cut the branches into smaller pieces and insert them into the base of the foam. At first, I insert evenly sized branches from each side of the foam to create a round shape. The next layer of branches is inserted at an angle, going upwards. I fill in the spaces between the branches with small trimmings so that the foam and basket don't show through. I save the prettiest branches for the second layer and continue to fill in the arrangement. I try to choose the branches so that they form a circle. It's important for the needles to surround the candle but not cover it. I densify the arrangement with trimmings. Finally, I take decorative branches with a warm tone and spread them throughout the bouquet. To finish, I take the pine cones and attach them to the branches using hot glue, doing this randomly to make it look natural. This bouquet is simple to make. I completed it in 30 minutes and paid only $15 for it. It looks natural and elegant and stays fresh for a long time. You can also find a video on my channel with instructions for a lush bouquet for $5. The link to the video is in the description. Let me know in the comments which bouquet you like the most. Beautiful heart-shaped arrangement for a grave. Anyone can make it, and it costs only $4. This pine cone heart can be created without using glue. To prepare the arrangement, you'll need about 24 pine cones, ensuring they are of similar size. You'll also need some spruce clippings or other evergreen branches. I trimmed some silver spruce from my garden and added a few twigs of red rowan or wild rose. 5 meters of floral wire is the only item I had to buy for this arrangement, costing just under $4. Wrap the wire around the pine cone, making sure it surrounds the lower layers. Next, place the second pine cone on top and wrap it with the wire. Repeat this process until you create a chain of pine cones, ensuring they are tightly connected. If the wire is stiff, try shaping the arrangement into a heart immediately after wrapping all the pine cones. Connect the first and last pine cones, then shape it into a heart. Cut the evergreen branches into smaller pieces to help fill in the arrangement using the floral wire. Attach them around the pine cones, making sure they accentuate the heart shape by bending them upwards. Fill the gaps between the pine cones with these twigs. The more precisely you do this, the stiffer the arrangement will be. Secure everything tightly with the wire. Finally, decorate the heart with rowan or wild rose. The arrangement is minimalist, so don't overdo the embellishments. This arrangement looks beautiful on a grave, and the materials used stay fresh for a long time. It's an ecological alternative to arrangements made from plastic plants. This bouquet for a vase cost me £30. You no longer need to spend a lot of money at the florist. Start by using a vase insert with a floral foam that has already been soaked. Branches from your garden work best for this arrangement. Stick them into the foam, angling them upwards. Use any artificial flowers and leaves you have left from previous seasons. The colors and types of flowers are entirely up to you. Once the flowers are in place, fill in the gaps with extra leaves and branches to make the bouquet fuller. The branches are free, adding volume without extra cost. The arrangement is minimalist, so don't overdo the decorations. Place the finished bouquet in a vase, whether plastic or already built into the gravestone. It's easy to make, looks beautiful, and helps you save money.